The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericaempowerment.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome to the show, everyone. I hope that you had a beautiful week, and I'm excited to be joining you on Tuesday morning today. Excited to now be on the Women's Channel as we're really looking to empower women and transform lives. So I'm happy to have you joining us today. And we're going to talk about women of influence, power, and heart. I think sometimes in our society, we think if you're a woman of influence and power, that you have to leave your heart somewhere outside, that these are mutually exclusive things. And I think where women and men, in fact, can really step powerfully into their influence and all that they have that they can bring forward is when they remember to bring their heart into the center of everything that they do today and day by day and throughout their lives. And I find that it's a journey. And along this journey, there are people that influenced us, just like we have the opportunity to influence others in our lives. And with it being Mother's Day this month, I thought it would be really great if we could focus in on women that have influenced us. And so I'm going to share about my grandmothers. I actually had 4 grandmothers that influenced me in my life. And each week I'm going to highlight one of them and share a little bit of how they've touched my life and influenced me. And I'm going to ask each of my guests today and throughout the month to share a little bit about women who have influenced them. It's a way to honor and acknowledge. And I think we have so many people that influence us in our lives that sometimes we don't let them know, or we don't take a moment to pause, reflect, and acknowledge. And so I'm that into our show this month as we're moving over to the Women's Channel, a way to really acknowledge influential women in our life. So take a deep breath with me. And the grandmother that I wanted to focus on today is my grandmother Quinn. Did in life and had moved in different directions for a lot of different reasons and had lost touch. And I remember in my 20s coming home and having the light, on your message machine blinking. And when I hit play, here was my grandmother. And she had this smaller voice that was reaching out to me and saying that, Rebecca, I know we haven't been in touch for some time, and I really would like to be in touch with you again. I completely understand if you're not interested in that and you're not open, but I want you to know that I am lifting you up constantly. I want you to have everything, every rich blessing that life can pour upon you and that you can have in your life. And I want you to lean into anything and everything that life can bring you. If you'd like to be in touch, here's my number. And I called. And we started a relationship again, and I got to know her as a woman. In the highs in life, in the lows in life, we would connect powerfully with each other. Highs in life, I might call her up saying, Grandma, I just met this amazing guy, or I had this amazing opportunity or experience, and can I celebrate this with you? Say in the middle of the call, she would remind me to give myself time to process on a cellular level, to be my best friend as I'm celebrating this new exciting thing in my life. And I would say, yeah, Grandma. I didn't hear it as well in the celebration moments. And then I might have those dips in life and I would call her up just with my heart broken or a loss or when my sister-in-law had passed away or other challenges. And Grandma would remind me to take a break and pause and really allow myself time to process on a cellular level. And I could hear that a little bit more in those down moments, that I needed to pause and process and treat myself like my best friend. And I want to tell you something about my grandmother. She wasn't on Facebook. She didn't have thousands of people in her email list or database. She wasn't even on the internet. And the wisdom that she shared with me to be my best friend, to give myself time to process on a cellular level, on the highs in life and the lows in life, became invaluable information. And this is how she ended every call. She'd say, "Rebecca, my health is fragile," and it was. I can go at any time, and that was true. And she said, "But I have loved and I have been loved fully and deeply, and I am at peace whenever my time comes, and I want you to know that, but I also want you to make me a promise." I would say, "Okay, Grandma, I'll make a promise." And she said, "I want you to promise me that you will take care of my granddaughter." And that was me. Because I was very good at taking care of everyone else, at running around, sacrificing myself, and serving from a place of depletion. She constantly reminded me that I had value and to take care of myself, and that was important. And I want to talk about the influence. So she had a powerful influence in my life. And then she had this ripple effect, because I had the opportunity when I was on a bus next to somebody or on a train or a friend or clients that I worked with or shows that I've been on, to share her wisdom and pass it along when people needed it most, to remind themselves, to allow themselves time to process on a cellular level, on the highs in life and then lows in life, and to remember to treat yourself like your own best friend, to take care of yourself with exquisite care, because you're valuable and a great gift to yourself and others. And that message has been passed along to thousands and thousands and thousands of women. And I'm sharing this because I think sometimes we feel like we have to have this huge sphere of influence to make a difference. But you don't know the difference that you'll make to that one person. And as they pass on like a ripple in a pond, their message to others, how powerful that can be. And that may be the message of hope that person needs and the next person needs. I find those messages never come back empty. They are always needed when they are called forth, and they serve a huge purpose. So remember, influence starts one by one, heart by heart, life by life, and it ripples out from there. And what I want you to do is take a moment to breathe in this information in again. And those of you who are driving, be safe. Keep both hands on the wheel. No texting. Eyes open. But for those of you who are able to, please close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head, and breathe in again. And I want you to think about, what is it you need today to encourage you on your journey, to step more fully into bringing your heart and your wisdom and your gifts forward, to, in a sense, be fully who you are to influence those who you are called to influence. What is it you need on your journey? Is it encouragement? Is it wisdom? What is it that is touching your heart today? And take a moment to listen. And breathe in. we rush around so much from thing to thing, moment to moment, program to program, to-do list item, that we forget to sometimes pause and listen. And when we listen and really know what we're looking for, it's a lot easier to see it, to hear it, to recognize it. And I find that helps you step powerfully forward. One more deep breath in. And with that, Julie-Anne, I didn't know if you had something laid on your heart to share.
Yeah, I was really, listening to what you were saying. I love what you were sharing about your grandmother and, feeling into who really influenced me as a woman. And a couple of people come to mind. I was raised in England, as you can hear by my accent, and Margaret Thatcher, the politician, I remember she just had a huge influence on me. The sheer tenacity and her position, and she was just such a first, and especially for her time in the 70s and 80s when, it was much more of a man's world, especially politically at that time. And, what she achieved, and whatever you think about her politics, I don't necessarily agree with all her politics, but just as a woman, and, she really taught me what was possible as a woman. The other person that comes to mind is Princess Diana, who radically transformed the monarchy and everything that went with that around the world, and the way that she really brought such love and heart and relatedness with people. So those were two people that really sprang to mind as I was listening.
Thank you. I really appreciate you sharing. And listeners, as we're going to our commercial break here, I invite you to really think about what it is you need and women that have influenced you. And perhaps you could even reach out after the show. We want you with us for the show. And really let them know how they've influenced you. I promise you it will make their day, and it'll really encourage them, because we don't always know the influence we have on one another. With that, listeners, we'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Are you struggling with changing or re-entering your career? Terry Hockett, CEO of What's for Work and transitional career strategist, works with her clients to craft their personal brand, gain clarity, and create career opportunities. Terry helps her clients discover and stand in their value and learn the tools and techniques needed to successfully navigate today's changing job market. Start today with your free membership. Step powerfully into the career of your dreams. Join Terry at whatsforwork.com.
Your people are waiting for you.
Do you speak to have more impact and grow your business? Your people are waiting for you, waiting to hear your unique message. Learn to speak more effectively on the Speakers Summit, a free summit designed for speakers like you. More info at thespeakersummit.com. Your people are waiting for you. Are you ready for them?
Your people are waiting for you. Be ready.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that commercial break and you got an opportunity to listen to what it is you need today and really think about women that have influenced you and really encouraged you in your walk and on your journey. And Julie-Anne, I was thinking about your share, how you talked about Margaret Thatcher and Princess Diana. And I was sitting here for a moment, just sitting with these are people that have influenced millions of people around the world, including us, right? Yeah. And they probably never knew how they influenced you.
Absolutely.
And yet they had this profound effect on you. And listeners, I just want us to all sit with that a moment, because I think we underestimate what a difference we can make in someone's life. Sometimes it's a smile in someone's rough day, and you just pass them on the street, or you're standing in line, or you're that person that maybe you let them go ahead of you in line. That can make a profound difference and really encourage people. And I'm sure there were moments that Margaret was discouraged on her journey, and yet she kept persevering in a public way, which had the opportunity to encourage and influence so many of us, and Princess Diana too. So I just wanted to give us a moment to reflect on that, because I shared my grandmother, who probably nobody knows other than when I share about her and how it's created this ripple effect. And then those are some public women that have influenced you in profoundly different ways. And there's the whole range that we fall within. And listeners, I just want you to know that you matter and you make a profound difference. And just because maybe you haven't had someone call you up or let you know, I want to let you know that by being you and coming forward fully in life and being willing to share your life with others and to walk by and smile and encourage or make those kinds of positive outreaches to others, it makes a difference. And we have those opportunities every single day. And I just want to draw some attention to that. And Julie-Anne, I wanted to focus this next segment on you, where we would interview you at a deeper level, so they heard your beautiful share in our first segment, and it looks like we have Dr. Anita Jackson on the line. Is that correct?
Hi, I'm here.
Welcome. Well,
thank you so much.
Oh, I'm really, really glad to have you here. So what I'm going to do is just switch the interview order. So Dr. Anita Jackson, we're going to start with you.
Sounds wonderful.
And
love it.
As soon as we get Julie-Anne reconnected, then we'll bring her into a later segment. So those of you who are leaning in, please know we will still get to interview Julie-Anne. But Dr. Anita Jackson, I'm going to do a formal introduction of you. She is the founder and CEO of AMJ Production and Publication. She's a TV host and senior executive producer of Outrageous Success Women's TV and Radical Men TV. She's a publisher of several online magazines and is passionate about helping women step into more of who they are, being outrageously successful, and really stepping into a global transformational leadership place. So she really wants to powerfully help women touch people and influence them around the world. So Dr. Anita Jackson, I welcome you officially to the show.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. I'm so honored to be here with you and your guests. This is going to be an amazing conversation today.
Wonderful. Glad to have you. And I always like to start with my first question, which is why? Why is the work that you do, and you're so much in the TV world and the production world, why is that work and using those different outlets to help influence women around the world, why is that so important to you?
You know, Rebecca, that question is a fantastic question, and the why for me has changed over the years as I have stepped into my own truth, as I stepped into knowing that I am enough, as I have stepped into allowing myself to become outrageously successful, and then in my background as a psychologist, as a marriage counseling therapist, and as a success coach, I have worked with all kinds of women. And what I have seen is when a woman truly knows that she's enough, when she begins to value her thoughts, her beliefs, her talents, her capabilities, when she accepts herself unapologetically, she not only is transformed within her own self, but she's able to transform her husband, her children, her partner, her family, her community, and then the world. So I, from my own heart and spirit, really want to empower more women to step into their power so we can bring about a higher level of healing, spiritual restoration, and more balance between basically all of us.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And I just want to underline for listeners the power of the statement, I am enough. And I know, Dr. Anita, you've shared in past shows and with me how transformational that process has been for you when you realized that moment that you were enough. And you have shared with me that that actually creates neural pathways. When we say the phrase, I am, you're actually building neural pathways in your brain and you're creating what you are. And this is an amazing, powerful thing, but it also comes with a bit of a warning. You have to watch what you're claiming that you are. If you're going around saying, I am tired, you're making that so. If it's I am powerful, I am excited, I am enough, then you're creating that neural pathway. And that becomes who you are and your reality. And so I really invite listeners to really draw in and pay attention to how often you're claiming things and what are you claiming, and then purposely shift that to remind yourself that you are enough and I am enough. So I just wanted to share that tip and insight that you've shared with me before, Dr. Anita, and it has a powerful influence in my life. I'm not going around saying I am tired anymore. I learned.
I'm glad you're not.
And I did it actually originally as an experiment. I thought, oh, how often am I saying that? And now I found it was a profound difference. Suddenly my energy went up when I said I am energized and awake and enough. So listeners, there's a bonus tip for you to take with you today. And
I love it.
I was sharing earlier in a segment about how we're focused on women of influence. And I wanted to know if there is a woman in your life that has influenced you powerfully and if you'd like to share about that today.
Sure. I have to admit, I'm very fortunate that I have truly been blessed to have several women in my life who've influenced me, some very personally and very directly, and then others from a book or from a movie or from, being on TV in some sort of way. But if I were to identify the women who are probably the most influential in my life, there are 5 women specifically, and I'll speak to 2 right now. One is my mom. Although I think every woman will say that they've had their own challenges with their mother, and God knows I've had it just as well. But I have to admit, if it wasn't for who my mother was and is, as a woman of God, as a woman of integrity, strong work ethic, really lived from her femininity, was very courageous and strong, being an African-American woman, raised her children on her own, who accomplished so much and was gone through so many adversities in her own personal life, but able to endure with such strength and such courage and such faith that she taught me how to be a woman of faith, how to be a woman of courage, that no matter what happens in your life, you've always got God, you've always got yourself, and no one can take those 2 things away from you, and which is something she says on her, she still says it to this day.
And I'm just going to pause there because I want listeners to really take that in and acknowledge your mom. And I hope that you actually share this show, that she gets to hear that share, because we so often don't pause and share that with one another. And it can be such an encouragement when we do. And we're actually getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And I know you've put together an amazing gift. Are you able to share about it in a minute, or is that something you're able to do?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
That would be perfect.
In 1 minute, I work with mostly women entrepreneurs, and as a psychologist and a success coach, I've identified 7 specific big challenges that we as women face and the solutions to those particular challenges. So they're available on my website.
Okay, perfect. And And I'll let you know how to access those at the end of the show. So I promise listeners, you'll get to access her amazing gifts. And then what I'd like us to be thinking about as we go into our next commercial break, really think about women who have powerfully influenced you. And I invite you to just make a quick note of that and list 1 or 2, or you mentioned 5 that have powerfully influenced you, and a couple bullet points about how. Because at the end of the show, I'm really going to invite you to take action on that and really encourage them on their journey in life and the influence that they've had. So we will look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Are you struggling with changing or re-entering your career? Terry Hockett, CEO of What's for Work and transitional career strategist, works with her clients to craft their personal brand, gain clarity, and create career opportunities. Terry helps her clients discover and stand in their value and learn the tools and techniques needed to successfully navigate today's changing job market. Start today with your free membership. Step powerfully into the career of your dreams. Join Terry at whatsforwork.com.
Your people are waiting for you.
Do you speak to have more impact and grow your business? Your people are waiting for you, waiting to hear your unique message. Learn to speak more effectively on the Speakers Summit, a free summit designed for speakers like you. More info at thespeakersummit.com. Your people are waiting for you. Are you ready for them?
Your people are waiting for you. Be ready.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had the opportunity to list some women of influence in your life and a couple ways that they influenced you. And as we come back, I wanted to take a collective deep breath together. Make sure our hearts open, our ears are opened, and that we're really ready to learn about our next guest and that she's going to be sharing with us. And so here, as I promised, is Julie-Anne Shapiro, who I will be formally introducing now. She helped me with her name pronunciation because you heard that's where I was struggling a little bit before. But she is an international love and relationship expert, an international speaker. She is the founder of Magnetizing Love. Monetizing is a different subject. So, I can see where my mind is. That's so funny. So, the world, really empowering women to find and keep their ideal partners. She's helped thousands and thousands of women around the world, and today she's going to be sharing some of her wisdom and insight with us. But before we even get into that, I know that you have a personal story about your journey in this. And I didn't know if this ties into why this work is important to you, or if it's in addition to that. So I would love to know two things. One is why this work of helping women in this way is so important to you. And then I'd love to know your personal story and journey in this.
Well, thank you, Rebecca, for that introduction. And my personal story definitely ties into my why. It is my why. For many years, I really struggled in this area of my life. I kept attracting, the wrong men, unavailable men, unsuitable men over and over again. And I know we've got a short time here, so I want to kind of cut this down as much as I can. I basically woke up in the middle of the night, one night in England, where I'm from, and I really got, after many years of struggle and one more heartbreak, that if I was going to attract the type of relationship, the soul connection that I really wanted to have, then I was going to do whatever it takes. I was going to do whatever it takes, and I really made that commitment right there and then that that's what I would do. And from there, I started to look into things to help me, mentors to help me. And it really meant that I was going to start to become interested and curious about my inner blocks to love, not my outer blocks. So the outer blocks would be, we're busy thinking that if we're somehow fitter, slimmer, younger, more attractive in some way, join the next dating site, have more money, live in a better location. I'd tried all that stuff. And none of that worked. So I needed to become interested in the inner blocks to love. What was I believing about love? What was I believing was possible for me in love? Well, long story short, I ended up coming to America to seek out some mentors to really help me with that. And I set an intention in April of 2009 to meet my husband by the end of the year. So this was pretty radical. There was no love on the horizon. It was the most inconvenient time, I was between countries. But that's what happened. I lived and breathed many of the principles that I now teach. And I did meet my husband on December 23rd, 2009. We were married 6 months later. I now have the extraordinary relationship that I always wanted and help women around the world to have that too. And I must add that, all through that pain that I went through in relationships, I had a very intuitive feeling that one day I would teach women about this very thing. And it just brings me so much joy to be able to do that in different countries. I've just come back from Bali. I'm just about to go to India doing events. And I really see that love is so universal. It doesn't matter where you go, where you are in the world. We have this deep need and desire for connection and for love. And it's so universal. And that's my why. That is my why.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And I just want to highlight a little bit and I appreciate you sharing from your heart with us. And it's so exciting to hear that you are in that relationship. And now the journey that you went on, that long journey, has perfectly equipped you to support women in that way. And one of the things I love about your story is that you set that intention in April, right?
Yes, I did.
You just like drew it in the sand, like, I'm doing this. I'm committed to doing this. Come what may, this is what's happening in my life by the end of the year. And that became your new truth and your new reality, and that you met him, right? In December 23rd, correct?
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. And married 6 months later. And I think this applies to so many things in life, that we need to make that commitment like you were talking about, Julie-Anne, and really believe that we will be and can be, and this is happening. So I love that, both in a relationship side, a business side, and a life side. So thank you for sharing.
Oh, you're so welcome.
And you touched on a little bit about these limiting beliefs that keep love at bay, in a sense, that kind of keep you separated. And you listed a few of them. Is there a little bit more that you could share with us about that?
Yeah, so, when I was very much in my own process, I discovered, for example, that I had a belief that I wasn't wanted. I'm not wanted by men. And so what I realized was that, when we have these beliefs that are deeply hidden away, we don't even necessarily realize that they're there, and we need to make them conscious. Otherwise, it seems like a mystery. This just keeps happening to me. I keep attracting unavailable, uncommitted men. It seems like a mystery. And when I was able to make this conscious, I could see clearly that the corresponding behavior or the way of being to my belief was to desperately try to make men want me. So when I was around men, my energy, the energy that I was putting out kind of said, please want me. Please, please want me. It carried a very desperate, needy energy. It wasn't what I was saying, but that was my energy. So I thought that I was saying all the right things. I thought that I was doing all the right things. That, men were responding directly to the energy that I was putting out as a result of what I was actually believing about myself. And so, it's very, very vital that we really make these beliefs conscious so that we can start to work with that part of ourselves that feels unwanted. I took time out from dating and really nourished that part of myself, really embraced her, really started to give her everything that I wanted a man to give me, And also started to show up on dates in a new way with a whole new energy that really knew myself and valued myself. And magically, I started to attract a different kind of experience, a different kind of man.
Remember that or not on a cellular level, electrons, etc. And I think, just as an example, I was thinking as you were sharing, I just want to underline a couple of things that you shared, that when you see someone on stage, you hear their words, but what you actually hear more loudly or more clearly is their body language, how they're standing in their message. Are they backing away from you? Are they leaning into you? Are they believing what they're sharing? And I think we take all of that information in on a really powerful level, and it speaks more loudly and more clearly than our words. So it makes perfect sense to me what you're saying, that when we have those things operating in us and we're not aware of it, that's what's being heard more so than our words.
Right.
And I know that tying into this to really support women on their journey, that you've put together an amazing gift. Do you mind sharing about that in about 1 minute to 2 minutes?
Sure. My amazing gift is your 7-step path to Mr. Extraordinary. It's a free video and ebook series. It takes you step by step on a journey, much like my own journey that I went on, and I've helped thousands of women around the world to go on. So that's my gift. I would love for women to have that.
Beautiful. Thank you. And I like that it's 7 steps and a video, multimedia. Love it. Yes. So thank you for making that available. And you shared a sentence in your story earlier on when we were talking about when you were sharing your personal. And I wanted to just take a moment to reflect on that again. Look, sometimes they'll use those as limiting beliefs, age, etc. That you believe they can be, they can have extraordinary life and extraordinary love. Do you mind sharing just a little bit about that?
I'm sorry, Rebecca. You actually cut out when you were talking. Could you just recap what you said?
Sure. In about 1.5 minutes or so, do you mind sharing about the power of radiance, that no matter a woman's shape, size, looks, etc., that they can have that love of their life?
Yes. What is radiance? A radiant woman knows her worth. Radiance comes from within. Radiance is when we stop hiding and we start speaking our truth and being who we are. We've all been into a room where there's a woman there, she may not be conventionally attractive in the way society dictates, but we find ourselves drawn to her. We want to be around her. That's because she has radiance. In the same way, there may be a woman that's very conventionally attractive in the way that our society dictates, and yet she's kind of in a tunnel, very self-absorbed. We're not drawn to her. We kind of want to get away from her. That's where there's no radiance present. And so radiance is not dependent on shape or size or age or looks. We can learn to tap into our radiance, whatever, our shape, our size, our age. We can really, truly learn to tap into our radiance and become extraordinary women so that we attract extraordinary love and extraordinary relationships.
Beautiful. And I just want to underline that because I think so often we look in the mirror or we're not treating ourselves like our best friends. We're not treating ourselves extraordinarily like you were sharing earlier. And I want to invite you today not only to claim I am enough, listeners, that you're really claiming I am enough. I am radiant. Let's add that in. And no matter what, that I am extraordinary. There's a wonder in how I'm made, and I'm valuable. You are each valuable and radiant and amazing. And to really claim that, own it, and step forward in that is truly a powerful gift to you and to others, because I can tell you there are extraordinary men out there, extraordinary partners that are looking for extraordinary women.
Yeah.
And if we can bring our wonder, our radiance forward so that they can see how extraordinary they are, we can have those extraordinary relationships. And Julie-Anne, I just want to thank you for your shares. Listeners, as we go into our commercial break, I want you to sit in this extraordinary bubble of wonder and really step into I am enough. I am radiant. Claim it, that wire their neuron pathways, really create that. And I am extraordinary, and discover some wonderful things about you. So we're writing your women of influence, also include you and some extraordinary things about you. And when we come back, we'll tell you how to take this to the next level. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Are you struggling with changing or re-entering your career? Terry Hockett, CEO of What's for Work and transitional career strategist, works with her clients to craft their personal brand, gain clarity, and create career opportunities. Terry helps her clients discover and stand in their value and learn the tools and techniques needed to successfully navigate today's changing job market. Start today with your free membership. Step powerfully into the career of your dreams. Join Terry at whatsforwork.com.
Your people are waiting for you.
Do you speak to have more impact and grow your business? Your people are waiting for you, waiting to hear your unique message. Learn to speak more effectively on the Speakers Summit, a free summit designed for speakers like you. More info at thespeakersummit.com. Your people are waiting for you. Are you ready for them?
Your people are waiting for you. Be ready.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to empowering women, transforming lives.
Welcome back, everyone. We shared how we'd help you take it to the next level if you came back. So what I wanted to share with you is how to really have some of the things we've talked about help shift you forward, help move you forward and get that traction in your life. Because I want us to have an amazing time together on the show, but I also want you to be able to apply what you're learning and the wisdom that you have in a powerful way. And that's why I have my guests give you free gifts. So we all love gifts and surprises, or at least most people do. I don't want to presume. But I wanted them to give gifts that are supportive of you on your journey. And that's what the amazing free gifts are about. So here's how to access them. If you're listening to the show live on Voice America, you look over to the right-hand side, you're going to see a link that says Radio Show Gifts. You click on that, it opens up, you put your name and email address in so we can stay. Do not to select 17 because that's a lot to keep track of and move forward in. But do make sure to lean into saying yes to those gifts. I think acknowledging your worth and your radiance and that you are enough, say yes to gifts that are going to support you in your journey. If you're not listening to the show live, but perhaps you're listening to the replay, here's what you do. You simply go to my website, which is www.yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Again, that's yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. And you click on the radio show tab and you'll see the free gifts button, right? Empowering gifts up on the left-hand corner. And you just go through the same process to get those gifts. So you click on it, open it up, put your name and email address and select yes, the gifts that will support you on your journey. And I invite you to say yes, just breathing that in, to anything and everything that will serve and support you, because you are absolutely enough. You have great, amazing worth and radiance. Julie-Anne, I think that's going to be my word of the week, radiance.
I love radiance. Really love radiance.
I love it. And extraordinary. I love both those words. They're so rich. And Julie-Anne, I know, do you mind sharing that?
Yeah, I would just like for all of our listeners to really start to give themselves everything that they would want a man to give them. So, it's really, what are the things that you would like a man to give you? You would like a commitment. You would like devotion. You would like to be told you're beautiful. You would like him to be fully available. So I really want you to start to list those things and then to start to really be in the question, how can I give these things to myself? How can I be fully available to myself? Really devoted to myself? Really tell myself how beautiful that I am. So for a quick tip, that's what I would like to share with all of our listeners.
Thank you. And I love that because it just it ties into my grandmother. That message of being our own best friend, of really taking extraordinary care of ourselves. Yeah. And to me, that's such a mind shift that we can actually give ourselves those things that we most want and nourish ourselves in that way and remind us and tell us ourselves that we're beautiful and commitments, etc. So thank you for that powerful invitation and reminder and tip.
You're so welcome.
And Dr. Anita Jackson, I know you also had a final share for us.
As always. For me, if your question is about, what tip can I give to women, it's kind of in the same lines of Julie-Anne, and that is making a decision. That word decision means to reach a definite conclusion. So when you reach that conclusion on the inside that you're radiant, that I am enough, when you make that decision at a visceral level, meaning you're feeling it at your first, second chakra, you're feeling it in your gut, that energy starts to permeate throughout your whole entire body, and it actually affects your brain, allowing your body to release chemicals to make that particular affirmation that much stronger inside yourself. So the more a woman can say to herself, or even a man, I am enough, I am radiant, I am ... Your whole life will be transformed.
listeners 2 powerful, powerful tips. And it's so interesting what you were sharing, Dr. Anita. We haven't been sharing notes, listeners, but what came to my heart was action. It's great to have information. It's great to have tips. It's great to have wisdom. But it does not bring the change it could if we just take it as information. When we decide to move and take action with it, that's where it can transform our lives. So I want you to have the information. I want you to have these tips and amazing gifts and tools. But I know the part that you need to do in it is to take action. And we can't do that for you. We can make it all available to you. We can believe in you, which we absolutely do. But we want to empower and encourage you to take action, to step forward, because that's where you can get the transformation in your life. That's where you can have the influence you're called to have, the full power of who you are, and bringing that forward, really having that love and relationship that you desire. And from what's been shared today, to me, it starts with you and yourself. You can create that and be that for yourself, and then invite extraordinary people in your life. That's what I want for you. Circling back to what I shared in the beginning about my grandmother. She fully loved and was fully loved. She invested deeply into her relationships, heart by heart, life by life. And what I want to invite you to do is to be willing to invest in you and yourself, really taking forward these tips of taking action and building those neural pathways on purpose. I want you to build your life on purpose and with purpose, because it absolutely matters. You are radiant. You are wonderfully and beautifully made. And I invite you to be willing to step forward in that, to say yes and claim that you are enough. I am enough. Build those neural pathways in a way that's supportive of you. Really claim the wonder in which you are made and are, and the radiance that is yours, can be yours, and should be yours. Share that radiance with others. Share your life richly with others. And then here's the extra credit bonus opportunity to dial it up one more notch. Tell somebody. Call one of those women that you listed on the list that influenced you, and share with them how, a way they've touched your life in a powerful and positive way. And then share something extraordinary about you and claim it. And I actually invite you to do it in the mirror, eye to eye, and claim in a power pose that you are enough, that you are radiant, that you are extraordinary. And with that, may you always, always bloom where you're planted and shine. We'll look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Women's Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.